you want to know why waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. is a spiritual signal? Dr. Joe Dispenza discovered that this specific awakening means your soul has recognized you're ready for the next level of evolution. Between 3 and 5 a.m., Earth enters a special frequency that opens a sacred window directly to your subconscious mind. It's literally the universe waking you up to give you access to your mind's control center, where you can reprogram any area of your life. Over the next 25 minutes, you'll discover exactly what specific message your awakening is sending based on the exact time you wake up. You'll learn the 4-step protocol Dr. Dispenza uses to transform these moments into neural reprogramming sessions. And most importantly, how to use this sacred window to accelerate transformations that would normally take years. But before I show you how to decode the specific signal you're receiving and how to use this energy to reprogram your reality, you need to understand why only some people receive this calling. If you're experiencing this, you've been chosen. Your consciousness is expanding, and these awakenings are the invitation to a higher version of yourself. If you feel like you got here for a bigger reason, if something inside you recognizes these awakenings have a purpose, hit that follow button right now and write in the comments, "I am awakening." Those 3 words will activate something in you that already knows how to work with this sacred energy. Because what I'm sharing today isn't for everyone. It's for those who are ready to discover that waking up in the middle of the night could be the key to accessing manifestation powers you didn't even know you had. Are you ready to transform your restless nights into the most powerful spiritual growth tool of your life? So let's start by discovering exactly what your awakening means. But I'm warning you, after today, you'll never see these signals the same way again. Let me start by telling you about Amanda Miller, a 38-year-old high school teacher from Spokane, Washington, who approached me during the Q&A session after a lecture on spiritual neuroscience in Seattle in October 2023. Amanda was visibly emotional and confused at the same time. "Doctor," she said, "for 6 months I've been waking up every day between 3:30 and 4 a.m. I don't have anxiety. I don't drink coffee late. I sleep well. But I wake up with this strange energy, like something is calling me. My doctor said it's normal, but I feel there's something more." Amanda was right. What she was experiencing was exactly the spiritual signal that Dr. Dispenza documents in his research. And when she learned not just to recognize the signal, but to decode its specific message and work with this energy, her life changed in ways she never imagined possible. I asked for Amanda's contact information because I knew she was experiencing something extraordinary. With her permission to follow and document her journey, we spent the next 6 months exchanging weekly emails about her experience. What happened to Amanda during this period will show you exactly what's possible when you stop ignoring these signals and start working with them. But before I tell you about the incredible transformation Amanda experienced and how she decoded the specific meaning of her awakenings, you need to understand the spiritual science behind these signals. There's a very specific scientific reason why your body chooses to wake you between 3 and 5 a.m., and it has nothing to do with health problems. Dr. Dispenza discovered that during these hours, Earth's energy field enters a specific frequency that makes special states of consciousness easier to access. It's like the entire planet enters a low energetic noise mode, creating perfect conditions for your mind to access information that's normally blocked during the day. Think about it like this. During the day, you're bombarded by external stimuli. Your brain is processing thousands of pieces of information every second. But between 3 and 5 a.m., when most of the world is sleeping, your mind can finally hear the whispers of your higher consciousness. Amanda wrote to me in her first email, "At first, I tried to force myself back to sleep. I got frustrated, took sleep medication, did everything to go back to sleep. But it was like my body refused to obey." What she didn't know was that her body was being smarter than her rational mind. And here comes an interesting part, and kind of funny too. Dr. Dispenza says many people try to hack these awakenings by taking stronger and stronger medications. It's like trying to turn off a fire alarm instead of checking if there's actually a fire. Spoiler alert, there is a fire, but it's the fire of transformation. Because here's what science is discovering. These awakenings between 3 and 5 a.m. coincide with natural peaks of important hormones in the body. But more importantly, they happen during a window when your brain waves naturally enter a very special state, the same state that people who've been meditating for years take a long time to master. It's like your body has an internal alarm system programmed to wake you at the exact moment when you can access expanded states of consciousness. And Amanda was wasting this golden opportunity trying to go back to sleep. So I taught her a specific technique that Dr. Dispenza developed for working with these awakenings. Instead of fighting against them, she learned to surrender to them. Instead of getting frustrated, she started using these moments as mental reprogramming sessions. What happened in the following weeks was impressive, but I'll tell you about that in a bit, because first you need to understand the science behind this transformation. Dr. Dispenza explains it like this. During the day, your conscious mind is in control, filtering information based on beliefs and patterns you already know. But between 3 and 5 a.m., when you're in this naturally altered state, you have direct access to the subconscious. It's like having a direct line to your mind's command center, and there's a reason why this happens specifically at this time. Studies show that between 3 and 5 a.m., the barrier between conscious and subconscious becomes thinner. It's when lucid dreams happen more easily, when creative insights come out of nowhere, when solutions to complex problems appear like magic. Our ancestors naturally used these hours for contemplation, planning, and spiritual connection. They intuitively understood that dawn was the most powerful time to access inner wisdom and make important decisions. But our modern society has taught us to see any nighttime awakening as a problem to be solved. We take medications, change habits, do everything to sleep through the night, and with that, we're missing one of the most powerful personal transformation tools that exists. And now comes the part that's going to blow your mind. Dr. Dispenza measured this in laboratory settings. He monitored people who learned to work consciously with their awakenings between 3 and 5 a.m. The results were surprising. Major increases in creativity, improvements in problem-solving ability, reductions in stress levels, and most impressively, visible changes in brain structure in just 8 weeks. It's like these awakenings were invitations from your own nervous system for accelerated evolution. And Amanda was about to discover how powerful this evolution could be, because there's a specific protocol that Dr. Dispenza developed to maximize these awakening moments. It's not just accepting that you woke up. It's actively using these hours to reprogram limiting patterns and install new possibilities in your subconscious mind. The first step is what he calls sacred recognition. The moment you wake up, instead of getting frustrated or trying to go back to sleep, you recognize that something greater has called you to consciousness. You honor this moment as a gift, not as a problem. Amanda learned to do this. The moment her eyes opened at 3:30, she would breathe deeply and mentally say, "Thank you for waking me up. I'm ready to receive." This simple change in attitude transformed the entire experience. The second step is what Dr. Dispenza calls present anchoring. You sit on the bed, put your feet on the floor, and for a few minutes just feel your breathing. You don't try to meditate deeply or force insights. You just connect with the present moment, creating a state of receptivity. At first it was strange, Amanda wrote to me in the second week. But after a few days I started feeling a peace I hadn't felt in years. It was like in those moments I was closer to myself than at any other time of the day. And here's where things get really interesting, because the third step is where the magic really happens. It's what Dr. Dispenza calls programming your future self. In this naturally altered state of consciousness, you visualize the most incredible version of yourself. You don't just imagine, but feel the emotions of this person you're becoming. Amanda spent about 15 minutes in these moments visualizing the inspiring teacher she wanted to be. She felt the joy of seeing students fall in love with learning. She felt the confidence to present new ideas. She felt the gratitude of making a difference in people's lives. And here's what's most incredible. Your body can't tell the difference between an experience you're living and an experience you're imagining with intense emotion. So every morning, between 3:30 and 4:30, Amanda was literally training her nervous system to know a future reality. By the way, this reminds me of a joke Dr. Dispenza likes to tell. If your body doesn't know the difference between real and imagined, then technically you can practice being a millionaire in bed at 4 a.m. Obviously, it doesn't quite work that way, but the idea is that you're creating new neural patterns. The fourth element is what makes everything possible: anticipatory gratitude. In the last 5 minutes of these awakenings, Amanda felt deep gratitude for the changes that were happening in her life. Not gratitude for what she already had, but gratitude for what was manifesting. Dr. Dispenza discovered that gratitude is one of the most powerful emotions for accelerating changes in the brain. When you feel genuine gratitude, your brain releases chemicals that literally rewrite neural patterns. It's like you're sending a signal to the universe: I'm ready to receive more. And now I'm going to tell you what happened to Amanda over those 6 months I documented. The results in Amanda's life started appearing quickly. In the first week, she wrote to me that she was more creative in the classroom. In the second week, students started commenting that classes were different, more interesting. In the third week, other teachers came asking for tips about her innovative methods. Within 6 weeks, the school principal called her for a conversation. "Amanda, I don't know what you're doing differently, but your students' results have improved dramatically. The satisfaction evaluations have never been so high. We want you to lead a pilot project for the entire school." It wasn't luck, Amanda wrote to me in week 8's email. It was alignment. When you stop fighting against these awakenings and start working with them, it's like you have access to a source of creativity and wisdom that always existed, but was blocked. But here's what many people don't understand about this process. It's not just visualization or positive thinking. It's real brain reprogramming that happens when you combine an altered state of consciousness with focused intention and elevated emotion. Dr. Dispenza explains it in a very simple way. Imagine your brain is like a garden. During the day, you're watering the same plants, thoughts, and habits as always. But between 3 and 5 a.m., you have the chance to plant completely new seeds. And when you do this with emotion and intention, those seeds grow much faster. Amanda started documenting the insights she received during these moments, sharing them with me in weekly emails. It was impressive, she wrote in the 3rd month. Ideas for educational projects, solutions for classroom conflicts, even insights about my personal life. It was like I had access to wisdom I didn't know I possessed. And the science behind this is fascinating. Dr. Dispenza discovered that when you consistently use these awakenings for positive programming, you're literally building new neural networks. Each morning, you strengthen connections associated with your higher version and weaken connections associated with limiting patterns. It's like going to the gym, but for the brain. And just like physical exercise, the results are cumulative. The more Amanda practiced, the more powerful the effects became. After 3 months using this technique, Amanda had the opportunity to undergo a special evaluation that Dr. Dispenza offers in some of his programs. The results showed measurable changes in the activity of brain regions associated with creativity, decision-making, and emotional control. It was scientific proof that something real was happening, Amanda wrote to me after receiving the results. It wasn't imagination. My brain had literally changed. And here's a funny observation Amanda made in the 4th month. Before, I was the person who complained about waking up early. Now I'm the person who gets excited to go to sleep because I know I'm going to have my special meeting in the morning. But perhaps the most profound change was in how Amanda related to herself. I used to see myself as someone who had sleep problems. Now I see myself as someone who receives divine guidance every morning. It completely changed my identity, she wrote in the 5th month. And this identity change is crucial. Dr. Dispenza teaches that real transformation happens when you stop identifying with your problems and start identifying with your possibilities. Amanda was no longer the teacher who woke up in the middle of the night. She was the visionary educator who received sacred insights. At the end of the 6 months of follow-up, Amanda had been promoted to Pedagogical Innovation Coordinator at her school. She was invited to present her methodologies at state education conferences. More importantly, she felt deeply connected to her life purpose. These awakenings weren't a problem to be solved, Amanda wrote in her last email of the series. They were a gift to be embraced. And when I finally understood that, my entire life changed direction. And now you're about to learn exactly how to use your own awakenings between 3 and 5 a.m. the same way. It's time to transform your restless nights into the most powerful personal growth tool you've ever had. If you can, sit comfortably now. If you're driving or in a place where you can't close your eyes, just listen and feel. Your subconscious mind will absorb this experience either way. Imagine it's 3:30 a.m. and you wake up naturally. Instead of getting frustrated, you take a deep breath and recognize that something sacred is happening. You sit on the edge of the bed, put your feet on the floor, and feel your connection to the earth. Breathe consciously. Each inhale brings calm and clarity. Each exhale releases any resistance or frustration you might have about waking up. You're surrendering to the moment, honoring this call from your higher consciousness. Now visualize the most incredible version of yourself. See this person living the life you desire. How do they wake up? How do they feel throughout the day? What kind of energy do they radiate? What kind of impact do they have on the world? More important than seeing, feel what it's like to be this person. Feel confidence flowing through your body. Feel the joy of living your purpose. Feel the gratitude that each day is a new opportunity for growth and contribution. Your brain is recording these sensations. It's creating new neural patterns based on these elevated emotions. With each breath, you're becoming more like this elevated version of yourself. Amanda did this for 20 minutes each morning. It was like I was downloading an update to my personal operating system, she wrote to me. And the results were evident in her daily life. Now feel deep gratitude for this capacity for transformation. Gratitude for having access to this internal growth technology. Gratitude for the changes that are already happening in your life, even if you can't see them completely yet. When you're ready, take 3 deep breaths and return completely to the present moment. If you really allowed yourself to feel these emotions, something changed in you right now. You planted seeds of transformation that will bloom in the coming days and weeks. And in the coming days, when you wake up between 3 and 5 a.m., you'll remember this experience. You'll recognize that it's not a problem but an opportunity. A chance to access states of consciousness that most people never experience. Amanda told me something I'll never forget in her last email. When you stop fighting against these awakenings and start working with them, you discover that your soul was trying to give you the greatest gift possible, direct access to your deepest wisdom. Dr. Dispenza has documented thousands of cases like Amanda's. People who transformed insomnia into inspiration, restlessness into insight, sleep problems into portals of transformation. And the key was always the same: change of perspective. By the way, he likes to say that the universe has a very specific sense of humor. It wakes you up at 3 a.m. to show you how to wake up spiritually too. And when you think about it that way, it actually makes sense. If you're ready to transform your awakenings between 3 and 5 a.m. into mental reprogramming sessions, if you want to use these sacred hours to accelerate your personal evolution, write in the comments, "I embrace my awakening." And subscribe to this channel, because we're going to keep exploring the mysteries of human consciousness and the internal technologies we all possess. Remember, you're not waking up in the middle of the night by accident. Your soul is calling you on a journey of transformation. The only question left is, are you ready to answer that call? Amanda was, and her life was never the same. Starting today, yours can change too. It all begins with recognizing that waking up between 3 and 5 a.m. isn't a problem, it's a gift. In your next awakenings, remember this conversation, use these techniques, transform your early mornings into sacred moments, and watch how your outer life begins to reflect the transformation you're creating internally. Your awakening journey has already begun. Now you just need to choose to embrace it completely.